Hey, so today we're going to talk about division, specifically long division. This is dividing without a calculator. This is the way you're going to have to do it if you don't have any kind of tool like a calculator or a phone to divide. It takes a lot of math and takes some time, but if you know your timetables, this would definitely be a lot easier. So that's why it's so important that you memorize your timetables before you start trying to divide. But in 5th grade, you should already know your timetable. So let's go for it. Specifically, we're going to start with problem number 10 on your worksheet. Okay. Before we jump into dividing problems with decimals, we're just going to divide normal numbers, whole numbers. In this case, we're going to divide 38 and 96. Okay, so the way you say it is you dividing this number inside the little house by the number outside the house. So this is the divisor. So you're dividing 1596 divided by 38. Order does matter a lot in division, because if you say that you're going to be dividing 38 divided by 1596, you're going to end up with a completely different answer. It will look something like this. If you were dividing 38 divided by 1596, it would look like this. The 1996 will be outside the house. And this is possible right here, but it's going to give you a completely different answer than this. This does not equal this. So make sure you put your numbers in order correctly. So this thing right here is the same thing as this. Okay. So the number in the front is the number you want to divide, and the number behind it is the number you want to divide this number by. So always remember that the second number goes outside the little box, and the first number goes inside the house. If you put them the other direction, you're going to get a different answer. Alright, so let's move on to dividing. So first you have to figure out how many times does 38 go into this number right here. So you start off with the first digit, which is a 1. 38, how many times does 38 go into 1? Obviously none. How many times does 38 go into 15? You go to the second digit. And 38 is larger than 15, so you cannot fit 38 into 15. So then you go to the third number, excuse me, and you ask yourself, how many times does 38 go into 159? Okay, so we're right here, exactly right here. Don't worry about the 6 yet. Let's just focus on the 159. This is where knowing how to multiply is very, very important, because you have to try out different numbers. So I usually start with the number 5s. If I multiply 38 times a number, that's going to get me closer to 159. So for example, let's try to multiply 38 times 5. If we do our math real quick, okay, 8 times 5 is 40. Put the 4 up here. Put the 0 down here. Okay, 3 times 5 equals 15, plus 4 equals 19. So the key is that you don't go above 159. 190 is more than 159, so you cannot use the number 5. So let's try a smaller number. Let's try a 4. Okay. The reason I start with the 5 is so I start like halfway, and if the number is too large, I go down 1, and then I continue until I get a number as close as possible to the 159, but without going over the 159. So let's do the math real quick. 8 times 4, 32. You put the 3 up here. 32. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 3, 15. So 152. Okay, so 152 is very close to 159, and it's not greater than 159. So what do? We put the 4 up here on top of the 9, because we use these 3 digits, and then we're going to put 152 down here. And then we're going to subtract. Okay, 6 minus 0 equals 6. And 9 minus 2 equals 7. 15 minus 15 equals 0. So I'm not even going to bother putting anything there. Okay, now we have a 76. So we have to ask ourselves again, how many times does 38 go into 76? Alright, so I know if I multiply 38 times 5, then it's going to give me 195. It's going to be 190, which is way above 75. If I multiply 38 times 4, like you see over here, it's going to give me 152. So let's start low. Let's start from the bottom. So 38 times 1, we know 38 times 1 equals 38. So we're not even going to bother. Let's try 38 times 2. Okay. 8 times 2, 16. Put the 1 up here. 6 at the bottom. 3 times 2 equals 6 plus 1. Guess what? A 76. So you have a 76 right here. So what do you do with this 2 right here? So this 2 goes over here. So you put a 2 right here. And what do you do with the 76? You subtract it from 76. 76 minus 76 equals 0. That means you do not have a remainder. So your answer is 42. So 1,596 divided by 38 is 42.